at least restarting Unity. Well, not completely restarting, but now that we've completed a good enough understanding of C Sharp, we'll probably be a lot more. It'll be much more easy to go through all of the Unity stuff and the scripts. So if you remember from last time, we've completed Unit 1 back then. So now we'll be working on Unit 2. So I'm going to go ahead and find the starter files. So until then, if everyone could open up their own Unity, that would be great. And I will send the prototype starter files in the chat.
So we start our own Unity file, create a new Unity file.
Yeah, a new Unity 3D project. That's what you should get. All right, now let's put in general chat. I'll put it in club updates so everyone can get it. Let me see if I can attach it. Let me know if this works. I've sent it in the club updates chat. So basically, go ahead and download that. I don't know if you'll need to. I'm pretty sure you won't need to unzip these. They should already be unzipped. What you should do is inside Unity, go to the top, go to File, and then click not File, sorry, Assets, and then click Import Package, and then Custom Package, and then you should find wherever you've downloaded these prototype to starter files, and then upload that. I'll go ahead and share my screen, and I hope I'll show you guys where you can find the import package. Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, so in Assets, go click on that, and then click on Import Package, and then Custom Package. And then find wherever you've downloaded the prototype files I sent in the chat, and then click on that. And then it should pull up, and this should be all in a new Unity 3D environment. In fact, I could probably try doing it myself. I'll show you. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, I know. I'm just changing it to my entire screen so they can see everything. So then let's go to... Oh, never mind. I'll just stick with the old one. Okay, so is everyone ready to go? Have they imported the prototype 2 files into Unity?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Yes.
All right, sounds good. So let's get started. So what this game will be is basically, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but Space Invaders. It'll be something like that. What we're going to do is there's going to be like animals that be running toward us, and we basically just like shoot a piece of food at them. Just as a refamiliarization, I know it's been some time since we worked with Unity. Quick recap. So this scene is where you can sort of move around and see what's happening on the game. As you can see, I already have some stuff in here. But again, it's preferred that you guys use a mouse, so it's a lot easier to move in the screen. But scene is where you'll see all your stuff. Once you click play, that's the button at the top here, it'll move to the game, which uses the in-game camera to navigate everything. On the left, you have the hierarchy. The hierarchy has all your items that are currently in play. At the bottom, you have most of your file information. We'll be working a lot under this assets folder. If you click on your assets, you will not have prefabs and scripts, but we'll be adding that in, so you don't have to worry about that. And then lastly, on the right, we have an inspector. And this inspector is really for looking in more detail with certain items. If I click on main camera, I can see where the main camera is located, rotation, scale, stuff like that. But yeah, I think let's just go straight into it. So go ahead and first try adding some items in, like let's try go to assets, go to course library, and then you can see we have animals, foods, humans, and materials. So if you want to change the texture of the ground, you can go to materials. So right now this is on sand for me. It might be on grass for you, but let's look at this. This is concrete. So if I just click on it and drag it in, I can change the floor. If you guys want to try changing the floor to something else that you like, but it's up to you. And this is the one you guys might already start off with. And then this is apparently gravel. And then but here's sand. I just wanted sand, so I dragged that in there. There may be other textures, but the ones that came with the package are these four. Of course, you may, I'm quite positive you'll be able to download more if you just go to the Unity website. Okay. And then, so looking back at actual items, we have humans. There's a lot of different styles of humans here. Farmer woman, farmer man, like that. And you can basically just drag one or two of them in. Of course, if you also want to, oh, never mind. If you want to place them directly on here, like without actually placing them and let the computer place them themselves, you can, instead of dragging here, you can actually drag this into the hierarchy. And that automatically sets it to 0, 0, 0 coordinate. But go ahead and add one human in here for now. We'll be setting it like the game up. And then you can add at least one food. Make sure you can actually see the food. And also add 3 animals. Now you can choose whatever animals you want, but there's quite a few. So in the forest, I believe you have deers, and we have foxes too, and a moose. In farm, we have chickens, cows, and some horses. And we also have dogs. Quite a few of them. So I added one of each. Well, yeah. So I have one moose, one deer, and one dog. But you can mix and match. It's not too big of a deal, whatever you choose. But essentially, how this game will work is we'll have our character moving side to side, shooting whatever food there is at these animals, which will be running from the other side down. So was everyone able to put their animals in and other items to customize it with?
Yes.
All right, so let's move on. Next step. Well, currently this game doesn't really do anything. It's just kind of standing there. So we're gonna go ahead and go straight into it. So go back to your assets folder, right click, click create, and then click folder, and then type in scripts. So I've already added a scripts folder here, but just you can do the same. This is where we put all of our scripts for this project. And then once you do that, you can just double click there, right click here, create, do C# script, and then click player controller. So type that in, type player controller in. And then once you've typed player controller in, what you have to do is, if you remember how we attach to certain objects, we just click on it and then drag it onto whatever we want to attach it to. So I've renamed my farmer as player just for convenience. You can do the same as well. Just right click here and then click rename. And then once I rename the player, I just drag this player controller onto the player. And then so once you see, it'll have the player controller script already set. Once you've done that, double click on player controller. So that will open up your C# script. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, there you go. All right, so once you're in C#, that's when we actually start working. Now, again, small refamiliarization, just a quick summary. We have void start and we have void update. Start is what gets called immediately at the beginning, like first frame. And update runs throughout. It's going to run once per frame. You have, 60 frames per second, roughly, depending on devices and whatnot. But that's how fast it'll run, depending on your device. It'll run really fast. So you can assume that's just running like continuously. So now the first thing we need to do is we need to add scripts for movement. We want our player, from back here, to move left and right, like that, because we want to be able to shoot these items. So as a result, we have to add in some movement. If you go back to the script, go ahead and start typing. 1 second. All right, so you can go ahead and type in at the top, public float horizontal input. And then inside update, we can type horizontal input equals input dot, input dot, whatever, get axis horizontal. Let's just delete this part. Okay, now that we have that, we can go ahead and try running it. And in theory, all this does is allows us to move left and right. So let's try it. Hopefully it works. Okay, click play. So, oh, did I do something wrong? Never mind, I guess. I forgot one more thing. Although we've added, so basically what this does is that we've gotten the controls. So what horizontal input is, it'll store left and right, but we actually have to make it move. I can't believe I forgot that. But now the next step is we have to use the translate functions. Now we do transform dot translate, and they do vector3. So yeah, vector3 dot right times horizontal input times time, capital time, delta time, And then that's it. And then we can also add in a small speed function just to control how fast it goes. So public float speed, and we can set that equal to, oh, that seems like a good amount. Let's try, I don't know, 5. And then we can also multiply it at the end. So just a small recap. What we've basically done here is this first line, horizontal input, by doing input.getAccess horizontal. This is already a built-in sort of deal where Unity will just detect the left and right arrow keys. And so it'll automatically use those for input. But once we've established horizontal input, which comes out as a number, we actually have to use it to move our certain character. So that's why we use the translate function in the next line to do transform.translate. And we do vector3.right, which is just navigating left and right. We multiply it by the horizontal input, so depending on how far right or how far left it is, times delta time, which is, if I remember correctly, I called it a constant. It's basically used to just sort of regulate how fast everything goes. And then lastly, I multiply by speed, which again is another regulator, ensuring that we run at the correct speed. So let's try it now. Now it should work. Compiling scripts. Click play. Oh, just some error. Oh, right. Include. Since it's a float, you might have to include f at the end here. So let's try it now. Okay. Click play. So as you can see now, I'm moving left and right. It's a bit too slow. Let's try 10. So let's change the speed to 10 up here. Save. And then go back. Click play. Okay, it's a little faster. Not too fast. Did it save? Yeah, it did. Well, that's fine. Oh, we can change it here. Let me try changing it here and see if anything happens. Okay, that's considerably faster. That's a little better. But even in this game, we can keep going. We're going too far, just like off the map. That's very clearly a problem. So our next step here is we have to add in constraints so that our character gets blocked in between the bounds of our stage. So the way we do that is we have to establish a range that our character can move in. So for that, we'll have to use if statements. Now, if I remember correctly, we've learned this in our C# course. So using an if statement.
I'm so sorry, guys. Hello?
Yeah.
I'm having a bit of trouble, like, getting the script onto the player category.
Oh, okay. Can you detail what's happening?
I can't just, for some reason, I can't drag. It doesn't work.
So in the hold on. In here, in the Unity player, if you click, you can't drag it onto character, like player. Like you can't do that. Because, I mean, is your game currently playing? You have to make sure your game is not playing for it to work.
Yeah, it's not. Hold on. Oh, okay, this works.
Okay. I'm glad you figured it out. What happened? What was the problem?
Apparently, it's just that I renamed the script without changing the public class. Whoops.
Oh. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and continue. But I guess at this point, does anyone have any questions? I hope I'm not going too
Actually,
fast.
can I? Never.
Oh, you'd like to see the script again here?
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
but does anyone have any questions, I guess, about Unity or what we've learned so far? This stuff is from Unit 1 of Unity stuff that we've learned. We've learned it before. We went to what was this? Before we went to C#. So most of the stuff, I guess, should be like kind of familiar. I know it's been a while, so that's why I won't hold it against you or anything.
Mm.
But yeah, so we're moving on, and now we'll go into some new stuff. But let me just, yeah. And then now we need to add in our ranges. So for this, we'll have to use some if statements. So if, and then we can put those brackets in. And then we have to do transform dot position dot x. Now, if you remember, in our program, x is this way. And then I believe y is this way. And then z is this way.
Mhm.
So you'll have to keep that in mind. Let me put this back at 0, 0, 0. But you have to keep that in mind whenever we're trying to navigate things. You don't want to actually think that this is x, which is correct, but this is y, which isn't. That's actually z, and y is vertically up. Okay, but once we have transform position x, we are taking the position of the object moving left and right, and then we have to confirm what its value is. So for our case, they can just do something like -10. We already have the brackets, and then we just wanted to create a new vector for the transform position. Yep. New vector 3. -10 transform dot position dot y transform dot position dot x. Oh, z, because we don't want it to move in that direction. And then, so what this basically does is just it sets up that it's going to tell our position whenever it gets lower than -10. So x-wise, that just be moving too far to the left. If it goes too far to the left, it's going to set its new position at that point. At that -10 point. It won't go like beyond that or anything. It'll just get stuck there. That's what we want. We want an invisible wall of sorts. We can try it. Oh, did I save? Oh, whoops. There we go. I forgot to save. I may have to run this again then. Sure, let's try it again. All right, hopefully this works without error. Okay. There you go. As you can see, whenever I'm trying to move all directions, it gets stuck. It gets hit there, hit that point, and then it cannot move farther than that. However, we only added it for -10. So while we might not be able to move to the left, we still can move to the right. That's a problem. We don't want to go too far off the right. That's not how a game works. And for other reference, honestly, -10 is kind of small. Probably make it a bit better. So let's try -20. I don't know. -25. Let's try that. So in fact, also set this thing at 25. And then let's go add the other side. So we have So we have if, and then we can type in, let's see, transform.position.x is greater than, let's try to keep it even. So I guess 25 brackets transform position equals new vector 3. Let's go positive 25. Transform position y transform position z. Okay, so now we have both bounds. Let's see if it works. Okay. Or maybe not. Is 25 too much? Oh, well, I can barely see the shadow. All right, let's try 20 instead then. Maybe 20 might be better. 25's a little too much.
Actually, 25 is kind of good because it covers the whole screen.
Yeah, but you won't be able to see your character. That's like it is
Yes.
good that it covers the screen, but like as you can see, I only saw like a shadow of the guy.
I guess, but for me, I kind of zoomed out, so it works. So I'm not.
Okay. If you do that, then yeah, it might be. Yeah, of course, you guys can feel free to change your camera if necessary if you want to like have a bigger area. I'm just showing options how to adjust and everything. So for me, this fits pretty perfectly. It's exactly near the edge of the screen. Well, I guess a little too much on the outside, but that's fine. We'll manage. But yeah, as you can see, we've set up walls, and we've utilized some stuff that you might not know earlier, since we've learned it through our C# course now. So we were prepared. Oh, let me exit play mode and then save. Okay. Next step, we're going to work on really like now we need to incorporate the animals because they're not really doing anything. Kind of standing there. All right, so next up, once we have that set up, let's just take a quick pause here, but does anyone have any questions about what we just did? Nothing? All right, then let's go ahead and move on. So next step, we actually need to make the rest of the stuff move because right now only our character can move. So in scripts, right click and create a script called move forward. It's right here. But once you add that script, go ahead and drag it to your food. If I remember correctly, I told you to add 3 animals, 1 player character, which we already have added, and 1 food, or any food really. But for example, I chose the energy can. So go ahead and drag this move forward to the energy can. So once you put it in there, you can see that you'll have the move forward script attached. We'll be implementing the destroy out of bounds script a bit later too. Okay, so once you have that script, go ahead and double click and let's open it up. As you can see, I have nothing on here, but we can probably easily surmise what we're supposed to be doing with this. Since our character will be shooting the food at the animals, which will be running toward us, it's basically the same style as just moving an object. So all we need to do is just set up a certain speed value. So 30, for example. Don't forget the F because we're doing a float. And then we need to have a translate. And since this time we're really controlled by keys, but we'll need to add some like key presses to activate it. So first let's make it move, and then we'll add the key presses. So same thing as before, vector 3 dot, but this time it's forward because our character is moving side to side. but whatever food we have, we're shooting it forward. We multiply by the constant, then we multiply by speed. Okay. That should be it. Let's try it. Ensure that the thing is moving. Let's see. Oh, and then right after that, go ahead and actually drag this onto the food. But once you've already done that, then go and also drag it onto the animals. Since our animals are also moving toward us, we can use the same script for them. But here's the thing, you just gotta make sure to turn these animals around backwards. So click on whatever animal you have, and then turn it using the rotation for 180. That's all. Since they'll be moving toward us, we have to, food at them. But so that's why you can go ahead and add that onto all the animals too. Remember, to add them or attach it, you just got to take the script, drag it onto whatever items in the hierarchy. Now, if you click play, theory, let's see. Yep. So as you can see, the animals move backwards, but it's really tough to see. But there's also this energy can right here, that also moves forward. And it's gone. Yeah. Since it's pretty small, it goes up pretty fast, but you get the idea. So although it's moving forward, we want the can to really move whenever we click the space button. So we got to code that in next. But there's a bit of a process to do that, since we also have to, make it shoot from our player character. First, take the food energy can and go to assets and then create a folder called prefabs. So right click, create folder, and call it prefabs. Once you do that, inside prefabs, go ahead and drag in your 3 animals and the food. It might ask you, do you want it to be original prefab? Click original. Okay, so once you've done that, we actually have to connect these items to our characters. So the animals, we don't need to connect to our player. They aren't really connected. We don't click a button for them to appear. However, the food is something we do. We click space for our character to shoot the food at the animals. So what you have to do now is first you have to create an option for occur. So go to your player, or at least player controller, the script for it, and then open it up. So in here, we have to actually add the option for that to occur. To public game object projectile prefab. Just an example. But since we're shooting that, it becomes a projectile. So just for naming purposes, we've labeled it dial fab. Okay, Control S. And as you can see now, the inspector has a projectile prefab option. And it says none right now, but what we need to do is we need to add in food energy, since it's the object we're shooting. So drag it in here, and done. And now it'll be more inclined to shoot the food energy can. Next, we have to actually code it so that we shoot from the space using the space bar. So the way we do that is we got to use if statements again. So if we go into player controller again, I'll just go to assets. Player controller. Okay, And then here we have to add in those options. Now, if you remember, all we need to do is use the inputs in order to get these items. So we got to do an if statement. Input.get. That's a little weird. Get down. I'll get key down. And then key code dot. That lets the computer know we're looking at the space keyboard. Key space. And then we have to do instantiate. It's a little new, but all that does is creates an item there. And then projectile prefab, because that's what we've named it. Transform position. Projectile prefab dot transform rotation. Okay. So what this basically does is just creates it at that point. And then it is instantiated at that current point. And then the transform dot position in prefab is just telling it to stay at that point, wherever it's created. However, we know that we have the move forward function for both the animals and the food. So even if we tell it to stay there, what's going to happen is that the prefab food in our case will actually continue. So it'll be actually if we shop food. So let's go and try it. Input does not contain a key for. Oh. Technology. That's correct. Okay. The quick space. It's very tough to see, but I'm gonna see it. Are you? Let me try zooming in. Oh yeah, sure. But if I put zero, it's the is everything all right? I don't know. I'm hearing someone like rapidly join and rejoin.
Sorry, I just got kicked for some reason.
Oh, I see. That's fine. Okay.
Yes, yes, I am.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and do that for now. So I like the object moving. Let's see. I'll click play. I click play and let's do my best here. Is shooting the food. You can just decide what shooting it. Yeah, it's actually working. Pretty cool. But if you look to our hierarchy, there's very clearly a big problem. The food energy cans, atomic clones. Basically, what's happening is that they don't disappear. They just keep going on forever, which is why we still have scripts that stays, not stays, but any active plus that we stage will be destroyed, you can say. So for that, we're going to have a script because if you think about it, these animals with this script don't keep on forever. So
sleep.
Yeah, Chris, and then right create and you destroy the bounds. If you title it right here. Once you create that, you can of course type it and drag it onto the engine animals. So there, let's go ahead and book the code. So here we devise a code that will immediately destroy an object once it's reached a certain point. Now, if you recall, this is pretty much very similar to the way we've developed boundaries. It's almost the same principle. All you have to do now is, let's see, we have to use an if statement, of course. Go ahead and start typing that stuff in. If statement. And then we need to add a range. So transform dot position. And we're doing Z this time because if you think about it, we're moving forward and backwards. You've got to manage that speed, that area. And then, so if that, that value gets higher than, I'm not sure, let's say 30, for example. And then we want to destroy that object. Now the function in here is destroy. It's quite literally destroy. But we want to not destroy out of bounds, just destroy. So we got to type in game object in the middle though. Oh, well, sorry. There. And then just period at the end. And yeah, so whenever a certain object, whatever we've attached the script to, if it gets above a z value of 30, it will destroy it. So let's go ahead and, for the experimental purposes, let's add a variable. So let's call it, I'm not sure, private float. See, we're making this private because we don't really want anyone to change this. Other values are pretty easy to change though. Call it top bound was 20f. And then instead of 30, we can put top bound. But this is extra. Let's go ahead and try it. Now, our animal is one step secure. That's the thing. Well, we'll show you. But, so if we shoot, as you can see, or not, difference. No. Did I not attach it? Maybe not. Attach it. No, I attached it here too. All right, let me check the code again. There's an error. It's not seeing here. Control S. No track plan. Facebook create infinite ones. A problem. Then top bound. Destroy game object.
I have a slightly different problem.
Yeah, what's up?
Once this runs, I can't act. It literally a file game object. I'm pretty sure that will work for you since I just copied your code. So You have that to look forward to.
Wait, what? It destroys it?
So you literally can't spawn it anymore. Clue.
What do you mean?
Can I just show you?
Yeah, I'm really confused.
Really
It's
weird.
interesting.
You see how everything acts normally, besides the fact that it's all particularly slow.
Yeah,
See?
you're a lot slower than it, but that's fine.
And then it destroys, but once it starts
Oh
destroying,
yeah, it does.
you see what's going on?
It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not.
I'm literally spamming the space bar.
Oh, I see. Ah, so it's like destroying the original. I want to unclick play. It goes back to normal though.
Yeah, it does.
I see what you mean. Hmm. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna check too. I'm not sure why this is happening. Let me try 10, just to be a little closer, and then I'll try 0F. Just oh wait, I'm not sharing my screen. 1 second. Yeah, sorry, Sam. I did not see that message. What your issue? I'm just gonna close them. Okay, I've tried 10, so let's see how that works. I may have the same problem, but let's see. Still not big. At least for you, it's big. I'm not sure why it's fixed. Script.
Hold on. I made the float public. That probably has absolutely nothing to do with it.
That may be why I'm actually named it private. Let's try it.
That's
Anything must have changed.
let's say it's just trying and stuff like that because of the
And I made it down like 5 and then play. What happened? Yeah, it still doesn't disappear. Oh,
I see what
wasn't. What? Okay, sorry guys. There, here it is. Well,
Okay, so
I don't know if it changes for you or not, but after this, since we established the top bound, we also established the bottom bound. That's because when the animals go down, they'll have to disappear too. Can't have them keep going off into the distance. So if we type an else, if transform.position.z less than lower bound, want to destroy game object. And let's go add a public lower bound. And set that equal to, I don't know, negative 20? Negative 10, I guess. Let me try 20 again here. I don't know if this will change anything, but try. Alright, well this is the first thing then. So the code is changing. If you look at the hierarchy, see, but all three animals exist and they're not. Because they pass the point of scene mode, you can see that they went behind me. Obviously, you don't see them, but they disappeared. So let me try to click. Hit 100 point, they'll just disappear. Then if I click play, look at splitting these two. And you click play, these things go on forever. And they don't, disappear, which is the issue at hand. That's very much a problem. Alright, so that's all I want to teach you guys today. See, it's already 9 o'clock, so there are many changes to apologize. For some reason, it's not working. Testing, but it's just not working right now. Yeah, so is there any questions? And if not, you guys are pretty much, you're free to go. Thank you for coming.
See ya.
See ya.